there may be people out there who do not spend all their time online looking at what, let's say, the right-wing lunacy is in the darkest, creepiest corners of the internet, or, for that matter, what the Republican vice presidential nominee is tweeting about multiple times.
Yep.
There was a video of a woman stopped by the police who had killed a cat. That video is not from Springfield, Ohio. It turns out from Canton, Ohio, 2.5 hours away. The woman, as far as I can tell, is not of Haitian descent. She is definitely not a Haitian immigrant because she has been voting for over 6 years. And the Haitian immigrants who have been brought into Springfield have been done so under the temporary status, protected status program, which is a function of all the political and the political disaster situation in Haiti, and also the natural disasters. And so all of it was sort of made up, but it wasn't made up by Donald Trump. It wasn't made up by J.D. Vance. It wasn't even made up by Charlie Kirk. We have video of the guy who made it up. Here it is. This guy his name is Nathaniel, and he is the first person who seems to have brought it up in the city of Springfield, Ohio. And he is at a city commission meeting talking about Haitian migrants. Nathaniel is a fairly well-dressed young man who also happens to be a member of the neo-Nazi group Blood Pride.
Oh.
Good.
Nathaniel of Blood Pride. I was at the head of the anti-Haitian immigration march earlier this month. I'm sure the Honorable Mr. Rob Rue recognizes me, considering he supposedly knew of our action before we even arrived.
He's a literal Nazi. He marched with swastikas.
First of all, I would like to dispel the myth that you knew of our march and intentionally had no reaction or made no forewarning about it as a preventative measure. You had no more idea than the police officers or Haitians. And it's frankly insulting to our organization to make such a claim. Second, I've come to bring a word of warning. Stop what you're doing before it's too late. Crime and savagery will only increase with every Haitian you bring in. And with it, public frustration and anger.
You sound threatening to me. I'm going
Based on the comments
if I could
tonight,
ask the police to go ahead.
I'm sure I don't need to tell you that.
Just sound threatening if you go ahead and just peacefully be removed.
These people didn't ask for this. And they deserve better than to have to put up with violent, unruly outsiders.
You're done. Thank you. That's all. Thank you so much. Not really thank you, but.
Boom.
That's the guy it's attributed to, apparently, for helping stoke, if not develop this meme. And it now, to be fair, that was what was it, in August? I think the late August. So it took, a full 2 weeks before Donald Trump was announcing it on a national stage.
By Elon Musk.
And immigration is supposed to be the issue where he can, I don't know, at least run up the numbers. That's his best polling issue, and the economy too, but she's closing in on that. He went to the most unhinged place that he possibly could after taking the bait on the crowd size and then not addressing her attack at all and putting forward the most insane conspiracy theory that anyone has ever heard in their lives that was funneled in from a neo-Nazi group.
And to be fair, also 4chan, apparently, there was a lot of promotion of this on 4chan, which is also, not terribly surprising. But you sort of want your president or would-be president to have enough people around him and him himself to have the sense to maybe not push this. But the point is, this is what his people want. J.D. Vance is not out there because he's concerned about the pets in Springfield, Ohio. He's not some type of ASPCA zealot. who is afraid of what's going on with the pets there. He is pushing it to his people because this is what they believe is going to drive their voters. This is what is a big part of it. And this moron, Donald Trump, was stupid enough to remind people of that, like of the sheer sort of like hatred of immigrants. And again, these immigrants are here legally. These immigrants are not undocumented. They are here legally. They are refugees. And on top of which, and I don't know why this needs to be said, but it's helpful. They are great additions to the community. Do they need more resources? Yes. The federal government has provided a grant. Also, apparently, DeWine had made a decision yesterday to provide more funding for Springfield. He runs some type of like charity out of Haiti. But here's a clip from PBS on a documentary, apparently. This is from a couple of days ago. And so this has been an issue within the context of Ohio. It's like there are, as you can see, a couple of weeks ago, neo-Nazis marching against the influx of Haitian immigrants. What's going to happen in the city once the bigots calm down is that they're probably going to have like a renaissance of an economic renaissance in that city. Here is this PBS NewsHour report.
Slowly, we had an application pool that was a little bit different.
People coming to work here.
People looking for jobs. What he's welding here again are welded axle.
Pause it. I'm sorry. We started this a little bit late. Go back a little bit. And he is basically talking about the Haitian immigrant workforce that he has built here. Just take.
That's kind of the beginning of the transition.
Okay.
Live and work here. TPS was then expanded by the Biden administration. Mirzu says he came to Springfield for the same reason most Haitians did. He heard that housing was cheap and jobs were plentiful.
What started slowly, we had an application pool that was a little bit different.
People coming to work here.
People looking for jobs. What he's welding here again are welded axle components.
Jamie McGregor is the CEO of McGregor Metal, which makes welded parts for the auto and farm industries. Right now, about 10% of his workforce is Haitian, over 30 employees.
I wish I had 30 more. Our Haitian associates come to work every day. They don't have a drug problem. They'll stay at their machine. They'll achieve their numbers. They are here to work. And so in general, that's a stark difference from what we're used to in our community.
All right, pause it. I mean, first off,
the sudden arrival of so much.
Pause it for a second. Now, there's something I find gross about this, to be honest with
Yes.
you. That just the idea that, like, this guy's like, oh, there's I define these people by their capacity and their willingness to work. But within the context of this community, the idea that these, and make no doubt about it, to have any influx. I mean, if 20,000 new people from Ohio moved into Springfield, Ohio over the course of whatever it is, 4 or 5 years, I mean, it would create issues.
A lot of people moved, or a lot of rich people moved into Montana during COVID, and it has created lots of housing issues there.
Yes, I mean, there's no doubt about it. But then the question becomes, okay, you have growing pains with a small city. Where are you going to be after you work through these growing pains? And it is quite clear from just this, that they're going to be in a better place. You're going to have the misery that this guy is talking about that has been there with the, I guess the existing population in Springfield, where the guy says, like, he's basically saying, like, I couldn't get people to come and reliably hold jobs, that we had a lot of drug problem issues. That comes from an economic deprivation that's going on there, from a lack of services, and from a dying city.
Yeah, it's a dying city with a lack of labor supply.
And this influx of people who are interested in improving their lives within the context of this system that we have is going to salvage this city.
Immigration is good.
It's economically beneficial. It's not demographically beneficial if you're a white supremacist. But the key is to organize it and make sure that it is not exploited. By I don't trust CEOs to see these people as anything other than like a cheaper input. But yeah,
let's just hear the rest of this.
To work, and so in general, that's a stark difference from what we're used to in our community.
McGregor acknowledges the sudden arrival of so many new immigrants is a challenge on multiple fronts, but he believes this is partly how the industrial Midwest can regrow.
We want more jobs in our community, and in order to fill those jobs, some jobs need to be people who are not originally from here.
There's things in the last 5 years that have really changed and has been forward.
All right, well, that's it. And incidentally, he says like these immigrants are going to help the industrial Midwest regrow. Guess what helped it grow?
A lot of immigrants.
All right, let's go back to Donald Trump's immigration thing and just wrap that out because this is. I think they couldn't have sketched this out. There's no way in their wildest imagination that she's going to say this about the rallies and he's going to be talking about them eating cats and dogs.
Right.
Like, if an advisor to Harris said, hey, talk about the rallies, and he's going to trigger him and he's going to be talking about cats and dogs, everybody's going to go like, yeah, okay, it may
sure.
it may trigger him, but he's not going to do that.
But it's exactly how she wanted it to play out, both in the sense of like his campaign wanted him to look more moderate on abortion, as we mentioned earlier. That's why J.D. Vance was coming out and saying he'd veto a national abortion ban. But Trump didn't want to do it and is also incapable of discipline. And then this is the same thing. Like, this is an issue where he should be able to run up the numbers, right? But he couldn't help himself from going to the most extreme, conspiratorial, and insane place. And I think the cats and dogs thing is the soundbite. I think that's the big soundbite that came out of last night. And
do we have the Peanuts thing? Should we play that? I don't know how long of a clip it is.
I can send it, yeah, but maybe.
I already put it in there. All right, we don't need to play it. All right, so where are we now? Where is this?
This is just around the crowd sizes thing. Do you want to go a little bit further on?
I think we kind of got to that part, yeah. We bookended it well by fact-checking that insanity.
Well, that's the scary thing about that, because this is still a close election, and they are talking about massive deportations, and it would be communities like the one being demonized with Nazi hate, like that Haitian community in Springfield, and it's despicable, and it's crazy how fast that gets up the bloodstream.
Exactly.
To a presidential nominee and a guy who owns one of the key communications platforms in the world.
Well, let's also be fair. They're shopping for this stuff. Oh, yeah. This is not just a push dynamic. It's a pull dynamic.
Right,
They're looking for this stuff.
Give us something to work with.
And, in our conversation with Weigel yesterday about that, that reporting they have done on that Zoom call where somebody was basically saying, here's $10,000 or $20,000 for you guys, and we don't know who the you guys are. We know one of them was George Santos, and he left the call because he was disgusted by it, if you can believe it. We don't know if they were YouTubers. We don't know if they were Twitch streamers. We don't know if they were Twitterers. They're probably some combination of all of them. Rumblers. Push this. Get $10,000, $20,000. This is a constant cycle. And they seed this stuff, whatever bubbles up to a certain level, they probably have some type of threshold, where something's trending. They'll all try it. I imagine Donald Trump is out there. I mean, I know that's what happened with the Cernovich thing with me at MSNBC. It was when Gorka and Donald Trump Jr. retweeted Cernovich is when the problems began. That dynamics changed.
Right.
But that's the way that that's their business model. That's their model. All right, let's just do this last one because I think that wraps up the. Oh no, wait.
We've got more.
Oh yeah, we got more.
There's a lot.
Well, we don't need to go. I mean, if you watch the debate, there were many times where she would say the phrase "turn the page,"
Yeah.
and the idea was again, she wants to be the continuity but change candidate. She wants to be. I'm not old. She didn't call him old, but she didn't have to. She compared at one point towards the end Biden and Trump.
Yep.
And said, like, we want something different.
And
something
that's why
new,
he
fresh.
also, when he said I saw it on television, that's what I wanted to say earlier about the dog eating. Well, I saw it on television in response to him saying there's no instances of it. That just came off as extremely old man grandpa yelling at the television without her even having to point it out.
Yep. Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.